man, are we ever going to make some good food here? Crystal Taylor is here with me, dietitian. Hi, how are you?
Great.
The website is dietitians.ca, where you can get a bunch of very useful information and actual facts, which are important in terms of learning about how to take care of your body and eat properly.
Yes, so March is National Nutrition Month, and Dietitians of Canada is busting nutrition myths to get you the facts.
I love that, because, you know, everybody, like, I guess if you went back, what, 15 years, everybody just sort of went with whatever fad diet was going on and just jumped on board. Now everybody seems to be like an armchair dietitian, don't you feel like?
Perhaps, and I think there's a ton of nutrition information is really accessible right now.
Right.
But Canadians are still getting a ton of conflicting information.
Yeah.
And so dietitians are a reliable source of nutrition information, and we hope people access their community dietitians and access our website.
You and I were chit-chatting just before we came on here, and one of the myths is the big whining one. Oh, I could never get 7 or 8 servings of fruit and vegetable in a day. Who could ever do that? That's one of the myths, right?
Absolutely. And
I'm just throwing that on there. That's kind of what I'm doing.
We're going to get started.
Okay.
And, and it's simply not true. So we are cooking roasted cauliflower and red pepper soup today.
Sounds so good.
And it's one example of how you can get to those 7 to 10 vegetables in fruit a day.
Okay.
A serving, it's a myth, because a serving is only half a cup of vegetables, cooked vegetables a day.
Oh, okay.
So if we're having a bowl of soup, for example, this one's quite dense in vegetables, 1.5 cups.
I love it, though.
A bowl of that size is almost 3 servings of vegetables in a day.
Oh, okay.
So that's one way to make sure that you're getting enough vegetables.
And if you're actually trying to lose weight, this is better for you probably. Again, this is me armchairing here. But probably better to take that food in, and probably makes you full. You can eat more of it in terms of calories versus, I don't know, a donut or like a cake or something.
Exactly. So it's a lower calorie option, and if you balanced it with, say, a tuna sandwich on whole grain bread, that you're getting your protein, healthy carbohydrates, and your vegetables.
That's excellent. Okay, so, and the other thing is, make it yourself, right? Because there's another myth that ties into this in terms of salt intake, sodium.
Absolutely. And I hear many clients say, well, I don't eat high salt diet because I cook all my foods and not use the salt shaker, but 75% of the salt that we actually eat is from packaged, processed, ready-to-eat foods. And it's not just the usual culprits like canned soup or frozen entrees. Our bread, cereal, condiments,
Most people, I haven't heard this before where people stop, by the way, go with the garlic, I haven't heard people stop and say, wow, I just really love preservatives. They're just so delicious. I mean, really, right? Because when everybody talks about food they love, it's always something that was made with, from scratch if you can. And with, like, nobody likes it out of a box. We just eat those things out of a box because we don't have time.
Absolutely. And so convenience is one factor. So this is quite simple. I just have chopped carrots, onions, and garlic. We're going to throw in some roasted red pepper.
Okay, I'm just ready.
And some roasted cauliflower.
Sorry.
And so this is quite simple.
Okay.
A lot of the chopping can be done in advance. And healthy eating, it does take a little bit of planning, so that healthy eating doesn't take a lot of time. However,
and you can do this ahead of time and make it into an easy to go meal too. Throw it in some Tupperware, put it in the freezer, and heat it up at work, right?
Absolutely. So taking that little bit of planning makes healthy eating a lot more convenient.
Take a Sunday. Go ahead. Feel free, right? Have some fun with it.
Have some fun with it.
Get the kids involved.
Absolutely, and those role modeling and what they're learning early in life makes a big difference.
You roasted the cauliflower. How long and with what?
Okay, so I just put the cauliflower on a baking pan, drizzled it with a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
Put it in the oven at 450 for about 20 minutes.
And I just have when they're cold. It's delicious.
And roasting it will bring out more flavors. And a super simple way just to bring out more flavors. This is just some chicken broth. If you want to make it a vegan option, you could use vegetable broth.
Right, and then the only concern there is what sodium content of your broth. You want to make sure you're looking at that as well.
So I actually used a healthy convenience product, and it's just a sodium-reduced broth.
Okay.
This is a little bit of thyme, and that's one way to lower the sodium, is that if you're using some herbs and spices. So we're just going to bring that to a boil, let it simmer.
And then it comes out in this bowl right here?
And it comes out looking like that.
I'm just going to take this right now. Jesse, follow me. Follow along. And I'm going to have a
for you to give a try.
Here,
so all the recipes are available on our Dietitians of Canada's website, www.dietitians.ca. And that's where all of the answers to the over 30 myths are as well.
You know what's interesting about this soup, really quickly, before we go to break? The fact that I can taste each flavor individually, like there's really a lot of flavor in there. Made fresh, right?
Made fresh,
That's the way
lower
to do it.
sodium option, and lots of vegetables and fruit.
All right, Dietitians of Canada, you can check out that cookbook. We're going to talk more. Coming up, we're going to make a bread option and talk about the myths surrounding carbs and calories and all of that. More information on how to live a healthier life on the way on CTV Morning Live.